Hey everybody, welcome back to Design in the Dark. I know yesterday I made a mistake. We said that the punishment was for me to go blonde again. Here's the problem with me going blonde. I tested this hat, and as you notice, this hat just disappears. That's right, because I'm keying out, my hair would have literally disappeared if I went blonde. So today, we are still browned. I painted my nails for you guys though. This one is green, so it just keys out, which is kind of fun. So Doc Reed, hello over here.
Hello, how is everyone today?
How y'all doing? He isn't blonde. People are mad. I know. I can't go blonde. It literally will key out, and every single stream that I do will just be a total nightmare. So anyway, welcome back to Design in the Dark. This is the show that's different pretty much every time you watch it. that's that's kind of just how it works. Doc, do you want to let everyone know a little bit about you, who you are, what you do, all that fun stuff?
My name's Doc. I'm an illustrator designer and here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and love doing a little bit of everything: photography, video, illustrating, painting. So it's a
It's
grab
true.
bag with me.
Yes, Doc is an absolute jack of all trades, and you can find his work over here just at iamredicus.com. You can check out his illustrations, you can check out some of his design work, and if you want to, you can even check out some of his goods. He's got some awesome sketchbooks, some pins, some posters, some prints, so you can go check that out. He has a very unique style, and today we're going to be having a lot more fun. Like I said, this show is different every time you watch it, and so today we have a completely new format. We've done this format before on other shows, but I want to kind of walk you guys through what's going to be happening today. Chat, you are going to be so much more involved today, and we're going to try to get a little bit crazy, a little bit fun, and hopefully throw Doc off as a game just a tiny, tiny bit. So what's going to be happening, Doc? Doc, get ready. You can go ahead, Doc, and make a 8.5 by 11. Looks like you already have. So above me, everyone, will be my screen. Doc, if you want to point upwards. Above Doc, there we go. Above Doc will be his screen, and you'll be able to see what he's working on. So, chat, here's what we're going to do today. We are going to be doing a fun version of a Mad Lib for our creative brief. So, I'm going to need all of these things filled in from you, chat, and you will be able to dictate what we're doing and what we'll be creating. So, I have a sheet here that we're going to data flow all of the words into, and I'll read in what's happening, and then Doc will start getting on that project. Doc, we have a question from Chat Cornell. Are you a freelancer, self-employed, or working for a company?
Yes. Short answer is that's short answer. Long answer is I'm employed full time, but also freelance, both design and illustration on the side. So
That's true. Doc does all of the things is the answer. And I just turned on some like vibe music, so let me know how the vibes are, everyone. If they're like too many vibes, let me know. I'll pull the volume down a little bit. If they're just right, we can ride that wave. All right, Doc, you have your 8.5 by
love it.
11.
I'm good.
All right, are you ready to design in the dark?
Let's give it a go.
All right, Alexa, turn off my lights. It didn't work.
Ooh,
I told her and she didn't listen.
mood
Okay, cool.
lighting.
So, chat, here's what I need from you. I need a company name right off the bat. We're going to jump right in here. So, I need a company name from you, chat. Let me know what the company name is, and then we need an adjective and an industry. So, Doc, for your reference, we're going to be working for a company, and they will be a
Yep.
something in an industry. So, they could be a fast supplier, they could be an eclectic movie theater. So, chat, let me know what that is. What's the company name, and then what is the company do? Adjective and industry, and then a number. Throw out any number there, and we'll plug that in for the years of experience. Doc, we're going to try
Okay.
to move from the background going forward. And so
Okay.
maybe if you want to, you can lay down a foundation of kind of just a generic background. Um,
All right.
all right. So, and color scheme today, Doc? Color scheme's up to you. How about that?
Oh.
You get it, Doc. You get to pick whatever
All
color
right.
scheme you want today. Love that. So our company is going to be Unicorn Inc. Great.
Ooh.
And I definitely pronounced it differently in my brain. So it will be Unicorn Inc. as in like ink. So they will be an ink supplier. They are an ink supplier, maybe for cartridges for printers. And I like that. Emerge. Okay, so they are an emerging They are an emerging ink supplier within the industry, and they are called Unicorn Ink. So Unicorn Ink is an emerging ink supplier with 126 years of experience. That's a lot of time for Unicorn Ink. So Doc, what we're going to be doing today, I think, for this is we are going to be creating a product. So chat, we are looking to create a product to go with the launch of the new promotional campaign. Let me know what the product is that we will be creating for Unicorn Ink. Doc, I think that Unicorn Ink maybe will help influence your color choices. What are you thinking?
Probably. I mean, that's pretty much the spectrum because rainbows, don't they make rainbows, unicorns?
Yes, I agree. Yeah, so I would say my art direction to you would be a lot of like rainbows, maybe even some like stars, some shimmer that we can have in there, right? Some very fun kind of pops of magic, if you will. I think overall emotionally we want it to feel light, airy, puffy. Maybe we incorporate some clouds, that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. I think that we had this suggestion from yesterday, and I think that it's actually a really fun one. We are going to do a shopping bag is going to be the print. So it will be maybe a like paper shopping bag. So it's got like the kind of rough top edge and then just the big box square, and that way we can fill out most of the page, and then have a fun kind of illustration on there.
All right. What's everyone think of the color palette thus far?
How are we feeling about the colors?
Is it better than yesterday?
Yes, chat. Let us know what you think about the colors, and there are some other great suggestions coming in for things to maybe incorporate. Great idea, Martha. Some cotton candy, some glitter. So Doc, when you're ready, maybe let's start talking about like general composition, maybe get some ideas of the elements we want to include and where we could put them. Just let me know when you're ready. Yeah. I'm filling in currently the information from our friend chat. All right, chat is very
good, so let's get going.
Cool. Chat loves the colors. They'd say they'd love to see like a gold. So maybe getting in there like some kind of like goldenrod, like a little more rich. And then someone wants you to match a red that is closer to your beard. I love that suggestion. Thank you, Dave. That is fantastic.
Is that Dave Olson?
That is our friend Dave Olson. That's it. And Joe, yes,
hello,
of course,
friend.
It needs to pop. Of course it needs to pop. So we were looking to create a shopping bag is our thing. All right, so Doc, let's talk a little bit about composition. So some of the things that were mentioned in chat were clouds, cotton candy, glitter, rainbows. What other things do we want to incorporate, chat? And Doc, I'm thinking, are you up for doing some kind of unicorn illustration as the main piece of this?
We could try to work something like that in there.
Cool. So I'd say in the center,
unicorn ink.
Yeah, you over the maybe the center is where we're going to put some kind of unicorn, whether they're facing straight out and they have the horn kind of going up, kind of like yesterday, kind of Porky Pig like, or we can do it, from the side, kind of a flying unicorn, but definitely a unicorn maybe in the center, and then to kind of save on space, maybe having clouds in the corners that feel like they're kind of in the foreground. So larger clouds in the foreground that have a kind of cotton candy wispiness to them.
Okay. When you first said that, I started going with like more of like the old school Looney Tune type of a cloud. You want a more fluffy?
We could probably do the Looney Tunes clouds, and then maybe we just put this is what we'll do. Oh, this is great. We'll put those little the little plastic cones like into the clouds, kind of like poking out of the clouds, so they like feel cotton candy. Maybe put some elements so it looks a little bit like rounded index lines, kind of to give it that like billowiness that cotton candy has. And chat, today, again, we are at your disposal very much. Keep throwing suggestions here. We are going to keep throwing Doc through the ringer. And while he's working on those clouds and that unicorn, I have one more thing that I'd love to get your opinion on. And yes, I love that idea, Camilla. We'll come back to that at the end, incorporating a stamp that incorporates the 126 years. So that'll be fun to add at the end, maybe especially on a bag like this. That would be fun. So continuing on, we have back to my screen over here. So we are creating a shopping bag to go with the launch of our new promotional campaign called Catchphrase. All right, chat, this is where I need you. What do we want to call this new promotional campaign? It's going to be for the launch of a new product, maybe, of these shopping bags. What are we calling the promotional campaign? This can be crazy, it can be zany, it can give us ideas for us to incorporate, but it could also just be completely irrelevant. You never know at this show. It could be a little bit of everything. So let us know what you want that catchphrase to be.
You want the paper bag to be more of a square, like grocery bag, or you want like a taller to sort of fit within this?
I think just fit the whole 8.5 by 11.
Okay.
And then if I want to, maybe when I bring it over in InDesign, I can plug in kind of a papery texture, kind of that like brown paper texture, so that it feels a little bit more like that. Martha, magical blank. All right, that's a catchphrase. Let's get some more catchphrases going in chat and see what we can do. And hello to everyone that just joined us. Welcome to Design in the Dark. This is a show where we are trying to create something on the fly where you chat get to make as many suggestions as you want. A lot of you just joined, so we're going to go back over what's happening on my screen. We are doing a fun Mad Lib where you chat get to fill in all of the special things about our design brief. So far we have Unicorn Ink is an emerging ink supplier with 126 years of experience. We're looking to create a shopping bag to go with the launch of the new promotional campaign called, let's see here. Love that. Called Power Pop Colors. Thank you, Camilla. So the new promotional campaign is called Power Pop Colors. Okay. So Doc, I think with that promotional campaign, I think it could be fun to incorporate some onomatopoeias, right? Like classic Batman, maybe when we get there, that has, you know, like those bursts that maybe has part of those names, right? Power, pop, colors, whatever. I think it'd be fun. Cornell.
That's on the bag or around it?
I would say that would be on the bag.
Okay.
And Cornell, that's a great tagline. Get in the bag, get in the rainbow. I love that. It's very Skittles. All right, so chat, you've had some great suggestions so far. Power Pop Colors, solid, glorious, magical. That's really great. Unicorn Ink, here forever. Yeah, like something. What about something about like the length that they've been there? Like it's like here forever, gone tomorrow. All right, cool. Doc, you're working on the bag. I see you're kind of making it dimensional. And yes, chat, I'm looking at the screen. This is a different format. Again, this show changes every time. So I'm just going to say that I can look at the screen now. So I see that you're doing kind of a dimensional floating bag. This is fun. This is really fun. I like what's happening here. Do you have any questions, thoughts on where we should be going?
I wanted to circle back. I know we had talked about what the unicorn was going to be doing in the center of the bag. Run through that again for me.
Yeah, I think it could be cool to just have it like we did the corgi yesterday, similar to where it's kind of front facing with the horn kind of breaking the circle. So the horn's kind of breaking out there.
Okay.
And then I almost wonder if the horn incorporates some of that color, or if it has maybe like ink dripping down it or something, right? To kind of incorporate that idea that it is unicorn ink. Like I do feel like if you were going to harvest ink from a unicorn, it would definitely come out of the horn. Like how like, you know how you tap like an oak tree to like get the syrup out? That's how I feel like you would get unicorn ink. Interesting challenge, yes. Hopefully it's fun. And if you guys have any ideas for how to make this more fun, if you're bored, if you want us to change something up, let me know. This show is reoccurring and it's constantly changing, as you can see between yesterday and today. Completely new. We shift and change it as we go. Love that. Whimsy and wonder. Chat, let me know where you're watching from in the world as well. Always love to know. And Doc, while you keep drawing, I'm going to ask you a couple questions about things that inspire you. When you reference classic Looney Tunes, were like old cartoons something that you grew up on that were like inspiring for you as an artist?
Honestly, it was one of those things that it influenced me far more than I realized. I always enjoyed the slapstick, comedy of Daffy trying to get Bugs and the Coyote trying to get the Roadrunner. But it wasn't until years later that I realized I was more fascinated with the background imagery and the art that Maurice Noble was doing for like the Chuck Jones animations.
Yep.
That really made an impact. And I think like the off-registration of a lot of those background elements is part of what I love about screen printing as well. So definitely influenced background more than actual character design.
Yep. Do you have a favorite Looney Tunes character?
Oh man. You can't go wrong when the Coyote's trying to catch the Roadrunner. So
I agree. Like Wile E. Coyote is just top tier.
Do you like it when he talks or when he's just just a silent and the Roadrunner?
He talks?
He talks when he's with Bugs. He doesn't talk when he's with the Roadrunner.
No, I hate that. I don't want him. I'm just imagining it, and I don't ever want him to talk. That makes me so sad. All right, how are we coming on the unicorn?
Slow.
Okay, slow. Great. We've got 4 references. It's always good to have your artist know. As the art director, we have about 30 minutes left.
Okay.
So we've got a little bit of time. Let me make sure that's right. Yes. Okay, that's right. We got about 30 minutes left, so keep trucking on that unicorn, and maybe incorporating some color. Unless do you want to do the color at the end?
Yeah, I typically work that way.
Cool. Good for me.
Where I'll get the sketch down and then work into the coloring.
All right, cool. So lots of people from California. We've got Uruguay, North Carolina Beach, Charleston, South Carolina, and Brazil. Hello, world. Welcome to the party. All right, so Doc, as you continue on that chat, it's you and me again. We're going to keep filling in this fun little Mad Lib of a creative brief. So here is the next thing that I need for you. We want this shopping bag to be blank and blank, adjective and adjective. These are things that we'll incorporate onto the actual bag, so we can want it to be fun and dynamic. We can want it to be drippy and gooey. What are 2 adjectives that we would want to incorporate into this bag? Oh, okay. Zach Wilkinson says, I think that Wile E. Coyote does not talk, and Ralph Wolf does. I guess that there's another one that is maybe
true.
There's a great
that's with the sheepdog. The sheepdog. Yeah, you're right, yes. Zach. But I don't know. I'll have to go back and check now that you bring that up.
I feel like there's really good brand standards for, I think it was the Wile E. Coyote that I've seen online, of like that he like never gets hurt, but like things hurt him, or like that gravity
he can only
always,
be hurt
like,
by
like
himself.
Yes, okay, that's what it is. So if you guys can find it, do a Google. There's a really great resource of like the brand standards of how to write for Wile E. Coyote. I love that. All right, some suggestions coming in for our adjectives. So we want this shopping bag to be blank and blank. You are the client. Let me know what you want. Ooh, I actually like the incorporation of these 2 ideas. Somebody just said this. So for it to be magical and eco-friendly, I think that that's actually an interesting combo.
Magical and eco-friendly.
And eco-friendly.
So I guess it's not made from unicorn horn ink if it's eco-friendly.
Well, I mean, I think that maybe
it's still vegan ink. It's still vegan ink.
Yeah, it's vegan ink. It's for sure vegan. it's made from oh man, what do they call it? Imitation unicorns.
Those
It's
are
like,
called horses.
yeah, like the Beyond Meat of inks. The Beyond Meat of unicorn ink is actually just horses. But also still, it's still, yeah, it's completely vegan. All right, cool. So it's eco-friendly and magical. And Doc, as you work on that, I love how the unicorn's looking. Chat, how do we feel about how the unicorn is looking? I feel like it's glorious and flowing. And I wonder too, Doc, as we do that mane that you're making right there, maybe we can
Yeah.
incorporate some vine, some growth, some flowers into that to make it feel like it
Okay.
has that like eco-ness, right?
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Um, yes, ethically sourced unicorn ink. I love that idea. See, this is why I love this format of the show, because it gets so ridiculous and we just run with it. So thank you, chat, for continuing to run with us on this crazy journey. Let's hop over and I'm going to read again, Doc, as you continue to work, just what we're doing here. We are working with a creative brief that is being written by chat as we work. We are designing completely in the dark. I'm helping to art direct Doc. He's coming up with colors, working on the composition. And so here is what we've come up with so far from you, chat. Unicorn Ink is an emerging ink supplier with 126 years of experience. We're looking to create a shopping bag to go with the launch of our new promotional campaign called Power Pop Colors. We want this shopping bag to be magical and eco-friendly. As far as inspiration, we want it to go. We're not going to get there quite yet because we're still continuing. I know, right? That was like the ultimate cliffhanger. That's what I try to do. All right, cool. So Doc has experience making eco-friendly looking bags. That's true. I believe, Doc, you've worked on a project recently doing some eco-friendly bags, right? Or at least some like more botanical things.
I haven't done any marijuana packaging.
No. Oh yeah, that did sound really bad. That did sound like I was setting you up for that without like wanting to say it on stream. No. I think you did like what, fertilizer or something, like soil mix or something, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yes, it's more of an organic soil, like a dirt farm.
Yes.
It's still ongoing.
Yes. I love this. I gotta say the biggest curveball in all this show is that Andrew still has Microsoft Edge in the menu bar. I haven't changed my menu bar. I still have, if you guys look behind me, I hide it behind me. I still have this watermark here that says activate Windows. I bought it and installed it and it won't go away. And so I hit up Microsoft and they're like, you actually need to wipe your entire computer to make that go away. And so I just put myself in front of that watermark so that you can't see it while we're streaming. All right, cool. So chat, you were going to get to influence us one more time, and that is going to be with our next point. That is, as far as inspiration, we want to go with a more blank style. So name a design style. It can be minimalist, maximalist. It can be whatever design style you want, and we'll incorporate that a little bit into the overall composition of what we're working on. So let us know what design style you would like to see, and we can kind of twist and change what we have going into a little bit more of that design style. All right, Doc, how are we looking?
Good. I'm switching over. Just locked the sketch layer, multiplied it so I can still see everything that's happening underneath it, and I'm gonna start working on the bag and the unicorn. Almost
cool. And
horse,
then
but...
on the side there, where you have that sun, is that kind of where you're gonna put the Power Pop colors?
Yeah, I was looking, it's seeing if there was like one of those onomatopoeia word bubbles that we could put some of that in there.
I think that's super fun, especially on that fold. I think that could be super fun, and maybe even to do the entire fold color and have those be white, kind of popping out.
Yes.
Yes.
I was. It's going to be an expensive bag because it's going to be printed on the inside as well as the outside. So.
Oh, of course we have to do that. Ooh, Camilla, I love the fusion of those two things. Dada pop. That's crazy.
Wow.
Oh, here's an interesting suggestion from Keith. Doc, how would you feel about doing some like watercolor stuff, working with the color scheme that you have?
Yeah, we can do that.
Cool. All right. So the style that we're going to choose is watercolor.
Switch over to the fantastic watercolor brushes.
Oh yeah. So yes, Doc, do you want to talk a little bit about the live brushes in Fresco? The guys, just know in the next like 45 seconds, this is going to be a commercial for Adobe Fresco. This is the thing that like they want us to show off and they want us to promote, and we didn't do this intentionally, but it's going to happen because it's so cool. So Doc, take it away.
All right. So whoops. So the live brushes that we've got here with the watercolor, you can let me get the color set up here. Basically, digital watercoloring. It's fantastic. Pressure sensitive. The colors will bleed into one another. And
It is.
you can get all.
It's
Go ahead.
magical to like watch them like hit each other and just kind of do like the interactions that they. It's so like light and fresh and airy. It just makes me happy.
Yes.
My heart is
You
full
can
of joy.
adjust the opacity of or the. Come on, bring it up. There we go.
Come on. Come on.
Exactly. So you can crank up the water flow. Basically, it'll be more water than it will be pigment.
Yep.
If you do that. So.
Awesome. So we're gonna incorporate that into when we get to coloring. I think you were doing your inks, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. So when you usually illustrate, Doc, you do the base level, which is the sketch, right? And then you do the inks, and then you do the color after that. Is that your usual process?
Yeah, I will typically do the sketch, do a key line, which is typically what gets printed last in screen printing, and then from there we'll try to use color to build shapes. So we'll see if we can do that here.
Cool. Yeah. So let's get going on
time.
The inks. We got about 15 minutes left. And chat, we have one more thing for you to add onto. Let's go ahead and hop back my screen as you do those inks. Chat, the last thing that we need to get from you is be sure to incorporate our name, which is Unicorn Ink, and logo into the design, which we're doing. Maybe the logo is that unicorn. Check, we did it. And as well as some kind of plural noun. What's a plural noun that you would like to incorporate into that? It's something that we'll add as an accent once Doc gets all of those nailed down. So we want to incorporate some kind of plural noun. Let me know what that plural noun is, chat, and then we'll be able to read our full creative brief and fulfill it with what Doc is creating. We'll put these side by side after using the cloud, which will be really fun as well. Doc, what I love about your work is as I look at these inks and kind of the like line, I don't know, like the line texture that you have, I always think that it feels like very loose. It feels very like painterly. Is that something that you've just kind of let go, that you're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to sketch it out and not try to be like exactly perfect?
Yeah, as I say, with especially with trying to work on the time crunch of getting it all done and dialed in. Dialed in is very, very loose term.
Yep.
Today.
That's how it works. It's very kind of free flowing, which is actually kind of fun. And that's what I love about this show is it puts so many constraints on you, from like what you're doing to what the application is to kind of bowing to the will of chat, as well as having a super short time. It puts these constraints on you that really makes you rely on what your process is, right? That you're kind of just like, cool, I have to not think about it and just go with what I'm familiar with.
Yep. 100%.
And okay, I think that we have a couple votes for this, and I actually think that it's a great suggestion. Dave, I think you've got a couple in today, but we're going to give you one more. Doc, the thing that we need to incorporate once we're done here is the plural noun of jelly beans.
Oh, okay.
Right? Have you ever been to the Jelly Belly factory? Do you know what Jelly Bellies are?
I've not. Yeah.
Okay, so for all of you in chat, this is a complete side story. And again, this show, who knows what it is? Um, the Jelly Belly factory, which is in, I believe, like Fresno, maybe Bakersfield or something. It's the greatest tour ever. You get to go and you walk like around where they're making jelly beans, and then you get to taste it at each stage. So like you get to have like the jelly inside, then you get to taste it after like the first sugar coating, then they taste it with like the citric acid, and then they taste it at the end with its like end up being rolled with like some sugar or whatever. So that's really fun. So we'll incorporate those. And someone asked in the chat, what program is this that we're using? Doc, yesterday we were in Photoshop and Illustrator. What are we using today?
Today we're using the child offspring of Photoshop and Illustrator called Fresco, where you've got raster and vector in one application.
That's right. We are raster and vector. That unicorn is looking sleek and chic and magnifique. Those are the three. Those are the three words that I'd use to describe that unicorn. And again, Doc is literally just using his fingers to rotate that artboard. You can get all kinds of interesting angles and work with it just as if it was a piece of paper. And so I love the way that you're like starting to shade in, starting to get a little loose. And it's fun to watch you kind of like wiggle and worm when the time starts ticking down, because we only have 15 minutes left, that it really pushes to like, all right, let's just go for it. And you just kind of start slapping down ink. And I think that's really fun to see you rely on what you're familiar with. All right, chat.
Yeah, right now I switched over to the vector brush to get me some of those more linoleum cut strokes that we were talking about yesterday.
Yep. So it's got a little bit more of that rough edge, a little bit more of that kind of painterly texture. And for those that aren't familiar, painterly is really just describing of like it feels brushy, it feels like it's been painted, a little bit of roughness to it. Doc, so outside of illustration and like design stuff, you experiment with some other means of art. I believe you create cyanotypes, right?
I do. Actually, I sort of ride my wife's coattails on that. She is the photographer of the family, and since April, she has done the majority of these, but we've done close to 140, 150 cyanotypes.
Oh my
goodness. I'm in the process of trying to get those scanned up and up in the store to sell. If you would like some one-of-a-kind art, we're actually trying to figure out if we want to do prints as well at a more affordable price point. So
yep. And for those of you that want to check it out, it is just Julie Reed Photo on Instagram. Mod, if there's it's Sam. Oh, there it is. There's a mod. So Mod, if you would like to grab this link, just Julie Reed Photo and drop it in chat. There's some really cool cyanotypes. And for those of you that don't know, it's a means of photography based on chemicals, based on exposure, based on a kind of unique process to expose as if it was a photograph. It's actually really, really early way of taking photos. So that's really cool stuff. And I love that you kind of get to experiment outside of sitting on a computer, because sometimes that gets a little bit old after time.
it does.
All right, so we got about 12 minutes. So are you going to start plugging in color now?
Yes.
Cool.
I'm hitting the bag sides right now.
And this is something that you've always been super loose with your color, because you like that kind of overprint offset kind of thing, right? You aren't trying to stay exactly within any lines or anything. You're kind of letting it free flow.
Yep. Yeah, I like it messy.
Yes, I do the same. I actually tell people that I make things like more textured and look worse to hide the imperfections. That like if I can't pull off an illustration or like something doesn't look right, I'll just totally texture it up and give it personality until it like hides the imperfections of it.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100% that way.
Yep. And I was like, oh, it's just an aesthetic. And you're like, this looks like a mistake. And you're like, no, it's part of it. It's a feature. It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Not a bug, it's a feature.
All right, chat. We've got about 10 minutes left here, chat. you have the opportunity now to give us some thoughts as Doc works on this. If you have any other ideas as we start plugging in colors of things that you want to incorporate. In my brain, the only other thing that is on the list is we want to incorporate the jelly beans on there. And then make sure that we have the unicorn ink name as well. And that's something that maybe we can put on the inside of the bag up there. Kind of just handwritten, scripty. Doc does a lot of awesome kind of script lettering. And so I think maybe doing something like that on the inside could be really cool, of just unicorn ink.
Unicorn ink.
And yes, happy accidents. That's right, Martha. It is all happy accidents. I mean, I have a Bob Ross wig. It's in my closet behind me. I should have worn that today for the start. I know it's a whole thing. Oh man, I love this color palette that you're using.
What happened to my selection? I just made a selection and it disappeared. It's
gone forever, Doc. We don't know. So here, I actually love what you're doing, and I'm gonna ask kind of a question about it. You have the Oh, that's a really great idea, Martha. We'll come back to that in a second. So you have the unicorn. Are you going to like erase out the shape of the unicorn to like give it the whiteness and like add some color, or are you going to leave it kind of all green like that? That's cool. So I think that maybe talks a little bit about your woodcut thought process as well, that you're kind of putting down the ink and then cutting away what you want to kind of have you white.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow, she's looking on fleek, as they say.
On fleek.
I don't know if the kids say that anymore.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm too old to say that.
Yeah, no, I only have yeet, I think, and then I just learned what a glizzy is, and supposedly it's either a gun or a hot dog, which feels like a big swing in slang. That like, which one of those is it? And that's like what people in Washington D.C. I guess if you're from Washington D.C., let me know what the deal is with this. They call hot dogs glizzies, and I'd never heard that before. No. So I don't know, it's a thing. I literally spent so much time researching it the other night because I was like, man, the kids have outpaced me. I am old now. Sorry, Martha had the great idea that inside that bag, to do the jelly bean pattern in there. So maybe we do the pink and the green and do just like a little pattern of jelly beans in there. I think that's super fun idea.
I like it.
Ooh, look at that mane. She's glowing. See, I like it when it gets like quiet for just a second and we get just the music coming through, because it just like vibes. Like it just feels like it's like, ooh, this stream is just like, I want to get close to the mic and just, hey everybody, welcome to our Design in the Dark stream. This is the place where we design in the dark. We don't know what we're making until you, chat, tell us what to do. So grab a friend, sit by the fire, turn up the radio, and get ready to design in the dark. That was for all of you. You guys can keep that. You can make it your ringtones. Turn it on to go to sleep at night. That's all you get. Oh, hello, Brian Williams. What's up? Welcome to the chat. It's nice to see you all. This is very fun. So, Doc, as you continue making those jelly beans, I'm going to read the entire full creative brief to those of us who have just joined us. Again, we have been doing a fun show today called Design in the Dark. It's basically a Mad Lib that you chat get to create the creative brief for the product that we're making. So today, let's go ahead and read what we're making. Unicorn Ink, which is what you came up with for the company name, is an emerging ink supplier. That's the industry that you came up with. They have 126 years of experience. You guys informed that 126 years. They are the vampires of ink. I believe that printers,
because unicorns never die.
Yes. Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay, so maybe our thing is that it's sustainable because unicorns like never die, right? That like unicorn ink is supplied from one unicorn, and it's like treated ethically and like fed well, and it's free range, but like it never dies, and so we can keep harvesting ink from it. I love that. And yes, Alexandra,
Yes.
I do need to do a new intro. I'm going to work on branding out this show a little bit more, up that production value for you guys. Sorry, continuing on. We were looking to create a new shopping bag. That's the product that you all chose in chat to go with the launch of our new promotional campaign called Power Pop Colors. We want this shopping bag to be magical and eco-friendly. As far as inspiration, we want to go with a more watercolor style. Be sure to incorporate our name and logo as well as some kind of jelly beans. We can't wait to see what you come up with. Now people will force you to do that intro. Yes, I agree. So Doc, I think that we're hitting pretty much all the things. We've got the nice watercolory vibe that they wanted. They've got the jelly beans on the inside. I would say maybe do some kind of green vine or something, or like flower in the hair to get that eco-friendliness.
Okay.
Kind of going something that says that it's ecosystem. Will it be a Pantone system with unicorn inks? Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. There's like a different, and it like depends on the time of year that you harvest the ink is like what the color is. So it's really expensive because you have to wait. It's like the seasons. So it's like, oh man, it's like
mood ring ink.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, I love the shading that you're doing there. Again, keeping it very painterly, very loose, kind of giving it a little bit of that grunge, that signature Doc vibe, which I love. All right, Doc, we got about 4 minutes left. So if we want to incorporate, the only things that I have are the eco-friendly aspect and then the name of the company, which we probably can put up in the top left corner where those swatches are, to just kind of toss it on there to make sure that we fulfill that brief.
Alrighty. And it is, tell me again, I think I had to turn that layer off. I put it on the
unicorn ink?
Yes.
Yes.
Was there anything else that went with that?
That's it. Just unicorn ink, and then maybe we can say, oh, this is my job as the host. Hold on. 2020 minus 126 equals, hold please. See, everyone, this is what happens, right? I'm here and you're like, oh man, Doc's doing such a great illustration job, and I'm back here doing math. Okay, so maybe we have we have unicorn ink and INK, and then it underneath says since 1894. So 1894. And yeah, just like a little kind of badge. Yes, the name in the, I think we do, yeah, top left corner. Love that. And then even going over that maybe with the pink color, so that it has like the super like vibe, kind of like multiplied-y, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to do something with the arm of that K and turn it into a unicorn horn, but I know we don't have time for that.
Please do that. I will make time for that. I'm in charge of the time, and I declare that there is time for the K to be a unicorn horn. We will run this show till we get cut off, and boy, do I get cut off on my shows. Unicorn ink.
Let me change that color real quick.
So chat, how do we do today? Chat, I feel like you did a really, really great job at art directing us today of doing that creative brief. You kept us on task. And yesterday, if you watched, we got super off track with what our creative brief was. We started chasing some rabbit trails. We weren't really focused, and that ended up with a product that neither of us were really happy with. And so today it was really fun to have you be a part and help keep us on track, for us to work together, to collaborate, to communicate. And I think, Doc, this product is like a million times better than what we came out with yesterday, right? Yes. We 100%. We are on the way. So I think we're going to debrief in about 2 or 3 minutes here and kind of talk about what went better today and then maybe what went wrong a little bit yesterday. This show is really about learning visual communication. So we're going to talk about that and hopefully give you guys some insight as an art director and as an artist to what that looks like. And our friend Flynn Tracy is in chat. Hi, Flynn. Flynn helps to run these streams out in Australia. And if Flynn is here, that means that there's probably an Australia stream coming up right after this one. So Flynn, let me know if you have a stream coming up, who your guest is, and I'll go ahead and plug them, make sure that my peeps stick around for that. Doc, this is your signature lettering. Like, it feels so Doc.
Blocky
Yes.
and all caps.
Yes, exactly. What pieces do you have that have lettering on them? Oh, here's in some of the goods. I think you had some lettering pieces, right? Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, you do. So Doc over here in his shop again. Mod, if you can drop a link, it's just iamredicus.com/shop. So this is Doc's kind of signature style, very like soda pen-y, very organic and free-flowing, lots of cool kind of wonky letters, I guess. And if you want to, on the shop, there is a free resource, right, Doc?
There is, yes. Jump in there and download that and make yourself a soda pen.
Yeah, so it's free instructions with how to make a soda can pen. You basically cut up a soda can, use the aluminum, use some ink to be able to create your own soda pen. And it looks like this. It is very, very like wonky and weird and splattery, which I absolutely love. And if you want to, you can even maybe incorporate some unicorn ink. Yes. Oh, that transition. So good. Segued. All right. So, Camilla, I also made a bag. We'll tag you both on Twitter. Camilla, it's so much fun. I love that people work alongside us. I think that that's something that we should incorporate into the show in the future. So maybe we'll establish a hashtag. Maybe you can just tag us. So we'll look into that for the future because that's really, really fun for you to track along with us. All right, Doc, we've got about 2 minutes. So we're almost there. I'm going to buy you enough time to do it because I need to plug our friends at the Australia stream. That's right, y'all. We have a stream coming in from down under. That was such a bad accent. I'm so sorry to everyone if you're watching from Australia. You know I love you. We do Illustrator Daily Creative Challenges together, y'all. We're starting again on Monday. Let's hang out. But sorry, there is an Australia stream. It will be inversed for the American audience, so it will be right side up. But we want you to tune in for that. Stick around. We have our frail Dale Begeni joining us. I hope I got that right. But he'll be joining us from Australia for that stream. And yes, it looks great. We can add color to the jelly beans later. I agree. That could be a fun little pop there.
Doc, I wanted to turn those into little ink drops, actually.
That's so fun. Okay, so Doc, you keep going on that. I'm just going to ask you questions and we're going to talk. We have 8 minutes until we have to get cut off. So I'm just going to keep asking you questions. And yes, Joanna, I'm so sorry. It was so bad. And like, here's the thing. I love Australia. I love Australians. I've been to Australia twice this year and I still can't do an Australian accent, like 0% of my life. All right, Doc. So let's talk about what went better today than yesterday. Yesterday, we both agreed was kind of a train wreck, a little bit of a dumpster fire, which is fine. What went differently today that has made this so much better?
I think there was a more singular vision and what.
Also, keep drawing when you talk. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. I'm trying to. That's my role as art director, is just to keep you cracked up. Let's go. Go ahead.
The singular, or being able to keep going with the idea of, happy, vibrant colors with the unicorn. And whereas yesterday we started with sort of a punk rock vibe and then ended up throwing in a happy corgi, and I misunderstood, I started implying and adding happiness into something that was supposed to be edgy. So
yep. And chat, let us know if you were watching between yesterday and today, if you observed any things within our communication, within the communication with chat, that you felt like made a difference. Let me know in chat. I think it's always interesting to investigate when you collaborate on something, what went right, what went wrong, what was tough, what was great, and really try to incorporate that into your workflow in the future. That's why I love the show, because I get to practice being a better visual communicator. And I love having guests on like Doc, because between yesterday and today, we see the difference. You can see that it actually matters how you communicate and how you translate that into a visual medium. I love where this is going, Doc. We've got about 5 minutes, so keep going. We're just going to keep asking questions. What's coming up
Okay.
for you, Doc? Do you have any fun projects launching? Anything that you're working on? Anything that you're thinking about in general?
Like I said a minute ago, trying to get some of those cyanotypes with my wife up and running. Also, going to be sharing about storytelling in Friday with Design Revival. And yeah,
That's right. So Doc
should be
actually
fun.
is going to be at a conference online this weekend called Design Revival. I believe it's Friday, you said?
Yes, Friday and Saturday, I'll be sharing Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Cool. So that's over here. Just designrevival.ga is where you can check that out. Doc will be speaking. He is going to be sharing, I'm sure, boundless amounts of copious and essential information. We're going to toss some big words in there. We did some yesterday. So he will be sharing all of that. In chat, you're giving some really great feedback. You having the text and having us fill in felt very fun and dynamic. The fact that we filled in while we work kept the In the Dark theme alive. We love the main colors, and also there's a delay in your voice and the video. If that happens, try to refresh the page. That definitely happens. Give it a quick refresh, and it should sync back up. This is what my mouth looks like. And that's what it looks like when I'm moving my mouth and not talking. That's it's just that wasn't a sync up. That was just me moving my mouth. All right, Doc, love that color, how you're incorporating it. We have 3 minutes left. I love that we're like pushing toward the end. And I love the contrast in like passion between yesterday and today, right? Yesterday we like gave up. Like 10 minutes out, we were just like, all right, this is it, guys. And so I love to say that we're literally going to the last minute to get it in as much as we can. And while Doc does that, Doc, can we talk at all about the secret project that you told me about on the phone the other day? I know that's like the most cryptid thing. I'm sorry, chat. Can we talk about that? The like book thing?
Sure.
Are we not allowed to?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
All right, then I won't do it. Okay, cool. So we're gonna look at some of Doc's work on the website as he finishes this and continues. He's done some fun stuff. If you guys are fans of pop culture, as he works on that, he's got this great piece from Game of Thrones. I watched like one. I think I watched the first episode and the last episode. That's all that I caught of Game of Thrones. But this is some awesome vector work. I believe done in Illustrator, Doc.
Adobe Fresco, actually, utilizing the vector brushes.
Nice. So utilizing vector brushes, you can see the different levels and layers that he's creating, which is really, really fun. So he is, again, like an absolute master of this illustration style when he has a bunch of time, really, really going for it. And you can see the detail in these and the insanity that's going into some of these illustrations. Our friend Titus Smith here for an event that happened a little while ago. So you can see that awesome detail. And looking at what we did today, the kind of paring down of that process within 40 minutes to really push it together and make things look similar and rely on kind of the core key concepts of what Doc creates. And yes, whoa. And Doc, here's a question from Laura. How long does it take you to do like one portrait, like those Game of Thrones pieces?
Oh man, you get noodling. I think those each. I mean, I probably put 18 to 20 hours in them.
Yep, it's total insanity. And I'm showing now the GIF of your construction lines to sketches to shading to everything for the Breaking Bad portrait. And that's total insanity.
Yes.
It's bonkers. And okay, so like you create this composition and work with those lines and then illustrate into those angles, right?
Yeah. I was trying to pull a Gary Kelly was a master or is a master of that, where he'll sort of build a grid and have the illustration fit to it. So you've got flowing lines and leading lines within your illustration. It's brilliant. I love it. And I don't ever think that way. So I was pushing myself.
All right, Doc. So I think that is pretty much it. We've got about 1 minute left. So any button up pieces, and chat, I'm going to read you what we created today with your help. And you can look at the final product of what Doc did. So again, Design in the Dark is a show where we start out with a creative brief that has a whole bunch of gaps in it, like a Mad Lib, and chat has been able to fill in those gaps for us, and we design on the fly in the dark as you decide what we're creating. So today, here's what we created. Unicorn Ink is an emerging ink supplier with 126 years of experience. We're looking to create a shopping bag to go with the launch of our new promotional campaign called Power Pop Colors. We want this shopping bag to be magical and eco-friendly. As far as inspiration, we want to go more in a watercolor style, and be sure to incorporate our name, logo, and some kind of jelly beans. We can't wait to see what you came up with, and this is what we came up with. Super, super fun, Doc. Absolutely love this today. And yes, next week we have our friend Happy Impulse, Roberta Hall, is coming on. And next week we will be writing news stories. So we'll be doing the same format. I think in the future this seems to work well. So we'll be doing the same format, and we will be writing a news story and creating an editorial illustration for that news story. So we'll be doing a different story each day. And again, chat will be able to fill in the details of those stories, what's happening, who the people are, who's it's affecting, and what is going on with those stories. All right, Doc, we got to wrap it up. So this is our final piece. Super fun. Where can people find you on the internet, Doc?
IamRedicus.com, and I am Redicus on the social media platform. So
all right.
Hey.
That's it. So thanks so much for joining us today, Doc. We will see you all next week, same time at Design in the Dark, and I'll see you on Friday for Adobe Office Hours. Bye. Oh, I didn't hit the right button. All right, see you guys later.